This is Lola, a dedicated wine company executive from Los Angeles. Her friend Hamish suggests she travel to Sydney to strike a deal with Hazel Vaughn, a well-known wine distributor. Hamish mentions that Vaughn Wines doesn't have an importer in the US and offers to use her services for his restaurants if she can secure the deal. Excited, Lola prepares to head to Sydney the next day. At the office, Lola chats with a colleague until her boss arrives. He praises her work, but then reminds her of her next assignment. Lola confides in her friend about Vaughn Wines, as her friend presses for details. That evening, Lola has dinner with her father Carlos and his friends John and Diana. They ask about her love life and learn she divorced 2 years ago. Carlos advises her to start dating again, since she hasn't moved on since her breakup with Tyler. The next day, Lola arrives at the office to find her colleague presenting on Vaughn Wines. She is shocked when her boss chooses Audra to go to Sydney instead of her, promising her a promotion if the deal goes through. Lola confronts her boss, arguing that she should go to Sydney since she shared the Vaughn Wines information with Audra. Her boss doesn't listen, leading Lola to quit her job in frustration. Determined, Lola decides to start her own company, Salad Imports, and aims to land Vaughn Wines as a major client. She discovers that Vaughn Wines has an Airbnb cottage and plans to stay there to pitch her company to Hazel Vaughn. Despite her father's concerns about the distance, he supports her decision. In Sydney, Lola arrives at Vaughn Wines' farm. She meets a man who offers help, but then awkwardly drops his heavy baggage and leaves. While exploring the property, Lola encounters Max, who sarcastically asks if she needs a safe combination. Max shows her the cottage, advising her to enjoy her stay, but not disturb Hazel Vaughn. Another worker mentions that the man who left was a former employee who couldn't handle the job. Lola then spots Hazel Vaughn and prepares to pitch her company. Hazel wasn't impressed with Lola's pitch and told her the trip seemed wasted if that was all she had to offer. After hearing that their worker had left, Lola asked if she could take the job. Despite some hesitation, she was given a chance to work on the farm. Max was assigned to show her the ropes and teach her about the job. Max warned Lola that she'd be doing tough, dirty work, including mending fences. He also mentioned the kangaroos, joking that they might attack her. Lola was excited to see the kangaroos, but Max cautioned her that they might be aggressive. She reassured herself that she could handle the job. When the truck broke down, Max was surprised that Lola didn't have a hat or proper shoes for the farm work, so he lent her his hat. He warned her not to get her hopes up about the contract with Hazel. At the cottage, Lola met 3 students. They had a minor mishap with the hot shower and caused a short circuit with her charger. The next morning, the students invited Lola to join them, but it turned out to be a prank. Max arrived to check on her, and he started explaining how to mend the metal fence wires. Lola began her tasks, but struggled with feeding the sheep and separating the red-tagged ones. She also tried to compliment Hazel on her boots and offer to import some wine, but Hazel wasn't interested. Later, after a conversation with Max, Lola had to clean the toilet. The following morning, she made a mistake at work that made Hazel very angry. Realizing she had no choice, Lola prepared to leave Sydney. She asked Max to drive her to the airport in his old truck, which broke down again on the way. They walked to the airport, and Lola joked that Australia probably didn't like her. Max shared some encouraging words, and Lola talked about her father, Carlos, who had been her role model and inspiration throughout her career. That night, back at the cottage, Lola read a book about Hazel Vaughn's family history and smiled, feeling a sense of accomplishment despite the challenges. The next morning, Lola fixed the hot water issue for the students, making their day better. They welcomed her into their group and gave her new shoes and clothes. At breakfast, Lola told Max that she decided to stay. She shared how the book she read the night before had inspired her. Max gave her a cowboy hat, surprising her because he had guessed she'd stay. Back in Los Angeles, Audra was stressed with her boss's demands and was surprised to see Lola sneaking a look at Max while he worked. That evening, the group gathered and Max played his guitar. Lola joined in singing, captivating everyone with her beautiful voice. It was a heartwarming moment, and soon everyone was singing along. The next morning, Lola had breakfast with Henry, who told her he was enjoying the work-life balance. Max informed her that she got the promotion. He noticed her bond with an old sheep, but mentioned that the sheep would be served for dinner the following Sunday. Lola promised the sheep she would protect it. Lola continued to bond with her cottage mates and enjoyed working with them. Audra learned that Lola was in Australia. At night, Lola shared stories about her ex-boyfriend with her new friends. Later, she found Max by Hazel's pool, ready to swim. He challenged her to join him, and she agreed. They smiled at each other, exchanging glances. The next morning was bike riding time. Max wasn't sure how good Lola would be, but she impressed him with her biking skills. He was amazed and called her a pro. Max shared his past with Lola. He used to be angry and destructive until he learned his mother had cancer. He spent more time in town than at home and only realized his mistakes too late. Lola told Max she didn't want the sheep to be taken away. They soon arrived at a stunning waterfall, enjoying the view together. Back in the office, Audra received instructions from her boss, who had found out where Lola was. That evening, Lola's cottage mate invited her for drinks. They danced and had a great time. The atmosphere was lively and felt like paradise. They even ended up betting on a dart game with a middle-aged man. Meanwhile, Hazel, Max's sister, wanted him to explore the world beyond Australia. She noticed how he and Lola seemed close and asked if Max planned to tell Lola about his feelings. Max denied it, saying he hadn't shared anything. Inside the bar, while a middle-aged man was scoring a dart game, a fight broke out. The brawl continued until Lola whistled, prompting the bar owner to intervene. Max paid the bar owner to settle the issue. Later, as Lola got drunk, she asked Max what he thought of her. Max was about to reveal his feelings, but decided against it when he saw how drunk she was. Instead, he took her outside. The next morning, Max joined Lola at the breakfast table. She was embarrassed about the previous night, but Max kept quiet. He invited her camping that evening, and she packed her bags. They visited the Vaughn family factory, where Lola tasted some of their wines. A worker offered to open a very expensive bottle for $200, but Lola declined. She still didn't know that Max was Hazel Vaughn's brother and actually owned the company. Max was hesitant to reveal this truth. Later, Max confronted Lola after she mentioned feeling lonely. He admitted that he had used loneliness as an excuse to avoid falling in love. They spotted a small kangaroo, and Lola took a picture of it. As they spent more time together, Lola started brainstorming ideas to pitch to Hazel. She mentioned Hazel's mother, Sabella, as an inspiration for her new ideas. Max was about to share something personal, but was interrupted by Lola, leading to a romantic moment between them. The next morning, Max revealed that he was Max Vaughn. Lola was confused, but Max reassured her that he was a silent investor, known only to Hazel and now to her. Upset, Lola decided to leave. Upon returning, Lola encountered her ex-boss, who offered her a job back at Mithon's with a promotion. Lola declined the offer and wished Hazel good luck. Hazel also told Max that he should have revealed his identity sooner. Lola's colleague apologized to her for past actions. Lola then said goodbye to her favorite old sheep. Back at her cottage, she and her friends shared some stolen wine, and Lola returned their belongings. Before leaving for America, Lola and Max had an emotional farewell. Months later, Lola had set up her own office. Her friend told her that Mithons and the Vaughn family had parted ways. She asked if Lola had contacted Max, but Lola hadn't. At a wine promotion event, Max unexpectedly showed up. He mentioned that the old sheep missed her back in Australia and admitted that he had made a mistake by letting her go. The story ended with Lola and Max enjoying a wedding together, celebrating with joy, and making the most of their time.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.